What's going on, everybody? My name is Wastelandish, and welcome to Doki Doki Literature Club. Now, when I first saw this game, the first thing that came to mind was, honestly, it's free. Why not? But I was looking for, horror type games, and for some reason, this popped up. And I've heard about the game. I've heard it's a really messed up game, but it's also a dating sim that's classified as a psychological horror game. So we're gonna dive into this, and we're gonna see what it's all about. This game is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. Individuals suffering from anxiety or depression may not have a safe experience playing this game. For content warnings, please visit warning.html. Okay. Well, guys, apparently we're not going to play this game. I'm a very anxious and depressed person. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's go on. By playing Doki Doki Literature Club, you agree that you are at least 13 years of age, and you consent to your exposure of highly disturbing content. Oh, 13 years old, I still can't play, but we're gonna agree. We're gonna go for it. Check out those sweet anime babes. God, I am so white. What is going on here? Uh-oh. We're going to enter a name. God, I am so bright. I'm going to have to do something about this. Brightness to 0. And it's like perfect. I literally have my brightness on like 20 right now. It's just going to have to work. All right. All right, so enter your name. Let's see. Wastelandish. There we go. That's my name. All right, here we go. Hey. I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and warn you ahead of time. I can't read. I just figured I'd throw that out there. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today. But it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. Totally. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. Ha! Ha! Yeah, okay. I overslept again. But I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Wastelandish. Hey, someone said my name. Nice. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Oh, I said that. Fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Wastelandish, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? Guys, I see where this is going. I told you already, I'm really not interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. Hey, that's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Hey, I can relate to that. Why be more than somebody who spends their free time on games and anime when you can just spend your free time on games and anime. Speaking of which, let me know down in the comments what your favorite anime is. Personally, for me, that one's a hard one. I've been watching a couple of them lately. I like My Hero Academia, Tokyo Ghoul, which I'm not really liking where the third season's going so far, but I'm only a few episodes in, so I guess I'll have to give it a shot. And of course, I like One Punch Man. You can't go wrong with that. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite anime is. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. Well, that's sweet. This is a dating sim after all, I think. And I know you're happy now, but I'd die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. Somebody let me know in the comments what NEET is, N-E-E-T. I guess I could just Google it, but why do that? I'm too lazy for all that. I only have time for games and anime. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. All right. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay. Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. Guys, I definitely see where this is a psychological horror. I'm back in high school. There's annoying little schoolgirls all over the place. I'm probably going to have to call it quits. This is pretty traumatic so far. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. God, this takes me back. Back in the dark days of school. When they were just plain and ordinary. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. God almighty. This wastelandish guy gets me, okay? He understands. I know the feeling. I just realized I'm all like way off in the corner. Give me just a second, guys. Oh, there we go. And you can still read, I think. I can't really tell on this little screen over here, but it looks like you can read it. I don't know what I could do to make that better, so if you can't, then I'm sorry. I'm reading it for you, so just deal with it. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Duh. Hello? Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and I realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, know what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayori. Yeah? There's no way I'm going to your club. I've never really learned how to read these things, so I just make exaggerated noises in place of them. Meanie. Sayori is vice president of the Literature Club. Literature. It's good. Motherfucker. Sayori is the vice president of the Literature Club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyways? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Yeah. Don't make promises you can't keep. You know, this Wastelandish guy is really starting to sound more and more like me. I guess I should move my camera up a little bit more. There you go. There you go. Now you can actually read the names. And you can tell me that I'm pronouncing them wrong, because I'm sure that I am. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead, or if she's so cunning as to have planned all of this out. Look at those eyes. Look into her eyes. Those are the eyes of someone evil and sinister. Oh, makes my skin crawl. I let out a long sigh. Fine. I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. We've all been there. It happens. I do it at least 3 times a week. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third year classes and activities. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here. I told you, don't call me a new member. Hey, I glance around the room. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori only says nice things about you. Oh, this is girl 1. Oh, this is a dating sim. I wonder who I get to pick. Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. That's a bit rude. Ah, Wastelandish, what a nice surprise. Oh, you know me. I don't know you. Welcome to the club. ... All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it, motherfucker. So sorry. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She is also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back toward the other girls. Anyways, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yori, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yori, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. So I'm guessing this is Yori, who's over here blushing, and she's blushing, and she's blushing. But I'm blocking everyone's face now. Yeah, I don't even know where to put me at, guys. Okay, I'm sorry. Should we just do this? What about that? Is that better? What about this? There we go. Now I'm Sayori. I am Sayori. I don't like that either. Okay, we're just going to do this. I think this is best. There we go. Maybe make me just a smidge bigger since I'm reading it for you. I'm reading everything for you anyways. Jesus. All right. Maybe that camera will work out. I'm moving the camera all over the place. Just get the hell over it, okay? She's more mature, timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Ah, well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monika, is that right? Or is it Monika? Monika. That's right. It's great to see you again, Wastelandish. Monika smiles sweetly. What was that? Don't jump at me like that. You got a fucking problem? We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monika was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically, completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monika. Come sit down, Wastelandish. We made room for you at the table, so you can sit next to me or Monika. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? Well, we're off to an interesting start so far. I'm like 45 minutes into recording, and I'm horrified. Absolutely trembling. Guys, I don't even know if I can continue. I gotta take a deep breath. Goddamn cupcakes and tea and beautiful, smart, athletic girls. I just fucking... Disgusting. I'm too fucking tired for this shit. The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there's one space next to Monika and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yori walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yori opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! A what? Natsuki lifts the foil off of the tray to reveal a dozen white fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute. I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. What am I doing with my life? Just hurry and take one. Jesus fucking Christ. Sayori grabs one first, and then Monika. I follow. It's delicious. You're not eating anything. Where's your cupcake at? Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I don't see any. I can't be immersed in a game. I mean, this isn't technically a game. It's technically a visual novel. But, you know. I like how I'm looking at my microphone while I talk to it. I just realized that I'm doing that. Why haven't you said anything? I'm supposed to look at you and talk. But instead, I'm looking at my microphone while I talk to it. To you. To me. Now I'm looking at the camera. I mean, the fucking kill me. There we go. Perfect. Guys, I'm just going to record like this. Hey, you want a cupcake? I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Oh, she's eyeing me up and down, that's right. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? Do I get to make choices, or am I just following along with all the choices this person has already made? And by this person, I mean me, because it's me. I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like Haven't I heard this somewhere before? made them for you or anything. I thought you technically did. Sayori said, well, maybe, but not for, you, dummy. Fucking bitch. That's her calling me a bitch. I'm not calling her. Don't judge me, okay? All right. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. I'm trying to make things tense, but I'm talking about fucking cupcakes and tea. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I mean, you're not wrong there. Personally, I prefer a hot cup of coffee. Coffee. Guys, I'll be right back. Now time for me to act like I didn't just edit out 15 minutes worth of me making coffee in the background. Where were we? Oh, that's right. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I mean, this is basically a book, and I've got a hot cup of coffee, so yeah, I can understand that. I guess that's not the right answer. Fuck yeah. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. Alright, let me put the coffee down. I'll just sit here and drink coffee on camera all day. Guys, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you now. Okay? I know what you're thinking also. 15 minutes to make a cup of coffee. The hell? Well, I make my coffee on the stove. I boil water. I pour it through a filter into a collection pot down at the bottom. I'm a purist when it comes to coffee. This cheap Mr. Coffee pots and whatever their name is, I don't know. They're just they don't compare. I don't even care about getting sponsored or anything like that. It'd be super cool, but obviously I'm nowhere near that point. But if I could get a coffee sponsorship, let me tell you, I would upload 4 or 5 videos a day. Ridiculous. Anyways, back to the game. Yuri's just trying to impress me. Okay. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monika raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So what made you consider the literature club? Duh. Doki Doki, of course. Whatever that means. Someone let me know in the comments what that means. I could just Google it, but why do that? When I could just ask you guys. That's what you're here for, right? To do my bidding. I'm kidding. I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monika that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so... That's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the Literature Club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monika, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Ah, ha 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 ha. Well, to be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. Well, that's relatable. I can understand that. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Oh, shit. What did I click? Monika really is a great leader. Can I just click this button? Oh, there we go. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. Well, that sounds familiar. Hey, do me a favor. Click that button. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it. So now they're all four lined up. I wonder who I get to pick. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. A little too enthusiastic. Good thing I know how to speak English, huh? Yeah. They agree happily. Enthusiastically. Yeah, see, I can say it. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monika must have worked really hard to just find these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Wastelandish, what kinds of things do you like to read? Well, hentai. No, I'm kidding. Considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. The power that these women have over this schoolboy. Anyway, let's cut that part out. Steve, cut that part out. I don't actually have an editor. I'm just screaming at my wall. It's literally it's right there. I can touch my wall. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. No, she's not. She's not doing that. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. I can agree with that. I like that. I do like a good book. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I really enjoy a good book. But it really needs to be a good book. Like, you guys let me know in the comments what your favorite book to read is. All right. Like, me personally, I really, really enjoy the complex ideas and the thought process and the descriptive details that went into the Cat in the Hat. I can't even fucking do it. No, I do enjoy a good book every now and then, though. It's hard to find time between working and kids and being a husband and trying to do this YouTube thing, and I probably haven't picked up a book in way too long, a lot longer than I want to admit. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me, and telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. I can relate to that too. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Psychological, you say? Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? I feel like you're trying to lead up to something. Are you fucking with me? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. Great. I've read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you, I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. That's a really good point, actually. I do agree with that. And me and my wife were talking about this while I was looking for horror games the other day. I found a very common, I looked at a list of the top 50 horror games over the past year, and then the top horror games of all time, and top 25 and top 10, and all these top. And 90% of the games were just fucking gory. They were just bloody games or zombie games. Don't get me fucking started on zombie games. Now, don't get me wrong. You've got some of them. You've got some zombie games that are genuinely they've got a couple of spooky moments. But for the most part, zombie games are not horror games, in my opinion. Zombie games pretty much have a genre of their own. There's like I said, a couple of them that were well done at being spooky, but for the most part, they're not. Games that involve monsters, typically, they're real horror to me is psychological horrors, things that creep up on you, not something that runs at you full blast and I'm scary. No, I want something that makes my skin crawl, that really makes me feel lost, desperate, despair. That's the kind of horror that I'm looking for. You know what? I'm setting a challenge to anyone that's watching this video. If you made it this far, let me know down in the comments. I want you to search and scour the internet. I want someone to find me the most terrifying game in the entire fucking universe. Okay? It needs to make my skin crawl. It needs to make me scream like a little girl. I want to cry. I'm so fucking scared. Okay? Everybody, you hear me? I want to cry. I'm so fucking scared. Okay? And if you do manage to find that, let me know down in the comments. I'm really interested. Also, side note, try and keep it under $20. Anyways, I really trailed off topic there, but it made a good point. Surreal horror, psychological horrors, that's scary to me. Spooky, gory, violent, bloody, that's not horror, that's spooky, bloody, violent, and gory. Those are their own genres. Violent and gory games are their own genres. Now, the two can coincide, but you have to have like a psychological horror with gory and violent elements. I'm trailing off. I'm sorry. I hate horror. Oh, why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called... Don't say it out loud. And give that back. Fine. God damn it. I'm ruining this game for me. I'm sorry. I'm incredibly tired. I've been awake for like 3 fucking days. And it's not... I understand it's trying to build up. And it's trying to make you feel like it's not a psychological horror. I get that. I really do. But it's taken a little too long with the small talk. I mean, I'm liking it. It's telling a good story. Don't get me wrong. I don't think I'm in the right mind for this right now. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a little bit longer. This video is probably gonna be a longer one, but we'll get over it. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori Siddles? Guys, what is this word? This word right here. What the fuck is that? Sayori slides, maybe that's what it was supposed to be, slides up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. I'm not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yori? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. ... Let's see, there's dots. I guess it's the same for Yori. Aw, I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay. I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yori look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. I'm sorry. Just a moment of silence, and she's like, hey, I got a great idea. Let's all get the fuck out of here. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it would help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Wastelandish? Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All 4 girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But I'm sorry, I thought... Wastelandish. You all... I'm defenseless against these girls. how am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls, it almost makes you forget that this is a dating simulator. And the dating simulation aspect of it almost makes you forget that it's a deep psychological horror game. Unless it's just tagged wrong and I'm just playing a fucking dating simulator. That'd be my luck too. I picked a game that has the wrong tag on it. I'm like, guys, this is supposed to be really fucking terrifying. And we just play a dating simulator an anime dating simulator the whole time. Awesome. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girl's eyes light up. Doki Doki! Yes, I'm so happy. Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey, you really did scare me for a moment. Why? You don't fucking know me. This wastelandish guy must be just drop dead gorgeous to have all these ladies swooning over him, just scaring at the thought of him not being in their club. I wonder what this wastelandish guy looks like. It must be his beard. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Sign with your blood. Nah. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Why did I read it like that? Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. Wastelandish, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. God, I mean, just look at this. Like, how do you read this? I mean, I don't know how else to read that, honestly. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? Yeah, definitely not with that attitude, loser. You gotta be confident with yourself. You got to not down yourself all the time. Jesus. This guy's almost as bad as I am with my shitty videos and my mediocre video editing skills. I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Oh, I feel that way every time I'm about to... Well, everything that I do. I'm full of anxiety all the time. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yori and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey, Wastelandish, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right, Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she's always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay. With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yori, and of course, Monika. He says, and of course, Monika. That makes me think that Monika is who he chooses. I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll find out. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. All right. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. The Cat and the Hat. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Oh, fuck. Okay. um. Can I just click one of them and be like, oh, Sayori likes Natsuki, and let's see. I think Yori's the coolest one because of the surreal horror thing, but there's no scary words. So we'll go with a tone. Sadness. Ooh, unrestrained. Judgment. Desire, twirl, candy, clumsy kiss, whirlwind, journey, ambient, email. Fucking email. There we go. Despair. Unrestrained. Email. I'm excited to see how this poem turns out. Now we're gonna go with fucking ambient. Misery, covet, lust, massacre. Oh yeah, we're gonna go with massacre. Incongruent. I don't know what the fuck poem you're trying to write here, guy, but we're gonna go with dream, fantasy. Oh, let's see. Bouncy death cheeks. See, you got bouncy death cheeks, loud fantasies, a whisper portrait, and lipstick together boop. We're gonna go with fantasy. Frightening, melancholy. It's almost like I'm trying to tell a therapist how I fucking feel all the time. Because I always feel effulgent. Can y'all stop? You're distracting me. At least they're all dancing down there, and it's distracting me. We're gonna go with pain, anxiety, misfortune, scars, disoriented, determination, vertigo, disarray, jumpy, broken, unending, disown, excitement. We're gonna go with unending, contaminate, unstable, uncontrollable. Doki Doki. Haha, yeah. What the fuck does Doki Doki mean? What the fuck poem did I just write? I kind of just clicked the most depressing fucking words I could read. Hi again, Wastelandish. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Ha 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 ha. Nah, don't worry. Nah, girl. I love books and shit. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Wastelandish. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year, and last year too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. MMM. Literally. It's MMM. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monika and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Wastelandish always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. What a gentleman. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Wasteland just can become good friends too. Sayori. Dot. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yori even brought you something today. You know. Wait. Sayori. Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yori. I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. All right. Well, this Wastelandish guy, he's pretty respectable. He could have been like, what? You bought me a gift. It better be something good. Because if it's not, I'll be angry. Oh, God. All right. Well, here. Yori reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yori, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. Basically, she's calling me stupid because I don't regularly read. So she's like, I picked you up this coloring book because I thought your stupid little brain could handle it. Just take it at your own pace. Don't rush yourself. Pace yourself. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monika to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monika are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yori's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yori a little bit more, but at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of the book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. ... But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... Oh, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yori isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. She's a fucking thief. Guys, what do you think? Put in the comments right now. Either, obviously she probably just, it's one of her favorite books and she bought it for me because she wants me to read it because she's madly in love with me because I'm a gorgeous, gorgeous man. Or she's a thief and she stole it. She's a book thief, the worst kind of thief of all. Whatever. Let me know in the comments what you think the ending to this possibly could be. But if you've already seen the ending, because this isn't a brand new game or anything, don't spoil it. This is all new to me. I'm kind of... I don't know. because I'm really starting to think that this might not be a psychological horror, but then it keeps like offhandedly saying things like, oh, my favorite things are psychological stories and surreal horror. Ones that lure you into a false sense of security and then catch you off guard. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous looking eye symbol on the front cover. All right. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Ah ha 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 ha. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. I wouldn't call that gently giggling, but, awkwardly making weird fucking noises. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing? Wastelandish. I mean, your name literally says wasteland in it. With an ish. Like, it's just, I'm kind of wasteland. No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange, new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writings fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please start me. Please start me. Please start me if I stop talking too much. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club, after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago, you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. All right, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. You sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. All right. I open the book and start the prologue. Am I going to have to read this fucking book in this game, in this novel? What am I fucking doing with my life? Jesus Christ. I'm going to cut all this shit out. I'm just going to skip to when someone dies. Like, hey, what's on? We're playing Doki Doki Literature Club. Oh, you want to join the club? Nope. Blah, dead. All right, thanks for watching. God damn it. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Jesus fucking Christ, what is this? I thought this was a psychological horror. What's going on? Yuri timidly closes her own copy. I get it's trying to build the scene, but goddamn. What is... I can't... Auto, what is... Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? A, to turn the page. Oh, yeah, sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do. I understand that you're stupid, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but...
Let me smash.
The main character
Please.
kind of reminds me...
No,
of you a
Ron.
little bit.
Go find Becky.
You think
You
so?
want some fuck?
No, Ron. I don't want some
I
fun.
got you blue. Hey girl. You want some tail? Flick.
Ron, your tail is small.
What? Swiggity sweetie. You want yellow. She doesn't want yellow. Blue and yellow. No. Fuck this next. Fuck that. I need you, Becky. Becky, let me smash. I'ma get that bitch a stick. Bitches love sticks. Stick got stick, Becky. I got stick. Let me smash.
Get it in the clip that popped up in my head the exact moment when he said this may be a strange thought. I don't know why. It's got me fucking dying, but god damn it. Oh my god. How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways. But she also second guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Guys, I've been recording for a fucking hour and a half. What am I doing in this fucking game? God almighty, this is not a fucking horror game. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But wastelandish. That's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that. Well, wait. I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. ... I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. You know what? No one's over here. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. I'm actually kind of excited to see where Wastelandish's poem turns out to be, because I just clicked the most fucked up words I could think of, for the most part. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that all right, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. All right. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. All right. Oh, my fucking God. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. Yeah, good luck with that. That never works out for me. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait. Sayori and Monika enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monika wrote hers on a composition notebook. I can already see Monika's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? Let's just jump straight in with Yuri. Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. We've already had the most encounters, so why not keep it going? I can trust her opinion to be fair. ... As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional! What's that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. Why? Can I read her fucking thoughts now? Jesus God. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? This is just so uncomfortable and awkward. Can this mic come all the way back here? Oh my God! I fucking broke it. What have I done? Shit. God damn it. Yori takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just mean, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I've kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There's so many different skills and technique. Oh my god. I'm gonna start skipping through a bunch of shit. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself or to me or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? I'm sorry to I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Oh God, she knows that I can't read it. Jesus. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Hey, that's a relief. Also, I liked the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you liked it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Hugh? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Wastelandish. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But just a minute ago, you told me it took for me forever to read because I'm stupid. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Eh? It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive, too. Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. Ah. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Wastelandish. You don't fucking know me. Yeah, exactly. Me too. This is a good poem, Wastelandish. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. But that's not why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy just that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Maybe. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet. But that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Wastelandish. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know. Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah. And I'm going to make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That'll be my way of thanking you. All right, I'm going to hold you to that then. Yay. Now you read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. All right, who should we show our poem to next? Natsuki. Wastelandish, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. What? Harsh. What, you expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about? Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I'd tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. Okay. I mean, that last line is, actually, the poem is short but surprisingly deep. That the rest of the animal kingdom is very impressive, and we're just people, and we're just walking around like, yeah, I can exist. Yeah. I told you that you weren't going to like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into that than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm professional. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. All right, on to Monika. Hooray. All right. Hi, Wastelandish. Having a good time so far? Oh, yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? All right. I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. Oh, well, of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Ah ha 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 ha. Don't worry, Wastelandish. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monika my poem. Great job, Wastelandish. I was going, oh, in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. Ha 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 ha. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyways. You know that Yori likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness, Yori likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. I can relate with Yori a lot, just to be real. I mean, we're starting to click, you know? Yeah. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of the nuances. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yori has at this point. I never really asked, though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Oh, don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little biased toward their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Ah ha 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 ha. Ah ha 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 ha. Anyways, do you want to read my poem now? Wow, I didn't think you were ever going to ask. Don't worry, I'm not very good. Wow, you're not the first person that said that. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? Yes, I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in the wall. Fucking wow. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. Ah ha 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 ha. That's okay. Yeah, the kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. Yeah, it's called slam poetry. I used to love that shit. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monika's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Oh my fucking God, is anyone going to die? Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club, after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monika are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yori and Natsuki. They're gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yori smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Hey, you mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. I was looking for suggestions. I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it. And Wastelandish, too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Wastelandish liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Wow, they're all fighting over me now. Are they going to start fighting? God, please, something. Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yori. That's not what I... You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Wastelandish appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Uh-oh. No, they're about to start fighting me. And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? I know if I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Wastelanders started showing up. Natsuki. That's, Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly both girls turned towards me as if they just noticed I was standing there. Wastelandish. She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Wastelandish. Wait. There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey conflict. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right? Wastelandish. Well, how did I get dragged into this in the first place? Oh, I've got to make a choice. They're going to make me choose. I'm not good at choosing. But whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. Help me, Sayori. I'm going to agree with Yori. Help me, Sayori. Natsuki. Natsuki glares at me, drying up any words I had in my mouth. So instead I turn to Yori. Yori... But Yori's expression is so defenseless that I can't bring myself to say anything to her. Sayori. Yeah? Everyone's fighting is making Sayori uncomfortable. How can the two of you keep fighting when you know you're making your friend feel like this? Wastelandish. Well, that's her problem. This isn't about her. I agree. It's unfair for others to interject their own feelings into our conflict. Yeah, unless Sayori wants to tell Yori what a stuck-up jerk she's being. She would never... It's your immaturity that's made her upset in the first place. All I did was create a bigger fight. Oops. Excuse me. Are you listening to yourself? This is exactly why nobody likes... Stop. Natsuki, Yori, you guys are friends. I just want everyone to get along and be happy. My friends are wonderful people, and I love them because of their differences. Natsuki's poems, they're amazing because they give you so many feelings with just a few words. And Yori's poems are amazing because they paint beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented. So why are we fighting? Because, well, also, Natsuki's cute and there's nothing wrong with that. And Yori's boobs are the same as they've always were. Big and beautiful. Sayori stands triumphantly. Monika stands behind her with a bewildered expression. I'll make some tea. Wow, she fucking rushed off for sure. And Natsuki sits down with a blank expression on her face, staring at nothing. So this is why Sayori is vice president. I whisper to Monika. She nods in return. To be honest, I might come off as a good leader, and I can organize things, but I'm not very good with people. I couldn't even bring myself to interject. As president, that's kind of embarrassing of me. Ah ha ha ha. Nah, it's not like I can blame you. I wasn't able to say anything either. Well, I guess that just means Sayori is amazing in her own ways, isn't she? You could say that. She might be an airhead, but sometimes it's weirdly suspicious that she knows exactly what she's doing. I see. Take good care of her, okay? I would hate to see her get herself hurt. That makes two of us. You can count on me. Monika smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. Such a genuine person really does make a good president, regardless of what she says. If only I could get the chance to talk to her a little more. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Wastelandish, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learned something from your friends, too. So your poems will turn out even better. Great. I think to myself, I did learn a little bit more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nodded myself with newfound determination. Wastelandish! Ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Ee-hee-hee-hee. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, about what happened earlier. What do you mean? You know, between Yori and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. Phew. You know, Wastelandish, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club, but I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you, too. Yeah, obviously, they're fucking fighting over me. That's... Every day is going to be so much fun. Sigh. Did he just fucking say sigh? Like, sigh. It looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. Oh, fucking God. Frightening. Lust. Wrath. Desire. Memories. Crimson Massacre. After image. Pain. Unrestrained. Unending. I don't want to keep picking the same. Incapable. Fester. Suicide. Uncontrollable. Agonizing. Puppy. Aura. Eternity. Anime. Fickle. Adventure. Jump. Raindrops. Depression. Loud. Pure. Rose. Depression. Broken. Another day passes and it's time for a club meeting already. I've gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple of days. Entering the club room, the usual scene greets me. Hi, Wastelandish. Yo, Sayori. Looks like you're in a good mood today. I'm just still not used to you being in the club, that's all. I see. That's a pretty simple thing to get you in a good mood. But I guess it's always the simple things with you, isn't it, anyway? Speaking of which, I'm kind of hungry. Will you come with me to buy a snack? No thanks. Eh? It's not like you at all. I have my reasons. Why don't we take a look at your purse, Sayori? Why that all of a sudden? No reason, really. I just wanted to look at it. Sayori nervously retrieves her coin purse. She fumbles with the latch and gets it open. She turns it upside down, lets all the contents spill onto the desk. Only 2 small coins falls out. I knew it. I can see right through you, Sayori. That's not fair. How did you even know? It's simple. If you had enough money in the first place, you would have bought a snack before coming to the club room. So either you're not hungry and want an excuse to take a walk, or you plan to conveniently forget that you spent all of your money so that I would lend you some. But there's one more thing. You're always hungry. And so that only leaves the one option. Hiwa, I give up. Don't make me feel guilty. If you feel guilty, that means you deserve to feel guilty. Ah ha 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 ha. Yuri suddenly giggles. Eh? I didn't notice that she was listening in. Her face is in her book, as always. I wasn't listening or anything. It was just something in my book. Yuri. Tell Wastelandish to let me borrow some money. Don't get me involved like that. Besides, you should only buy what you can reasonably afford. And frankly, after pulling a mischievous little stunt like that, your suffering is fair enough retribution. I didn't mean that. I got too absorbed into my book. I really like when you speak your mind, Yuri. It doesn't happen much, but it's a fun side of you. There's no way you could think that. You were right, though. I did something bad, and now I have to accept the retribution. That. Still coming from you, Sayori. I guess there's a little devil inside all of us, isn't there? Don't let her fool you. Sayori knows exactly what she's doing. After all, she told you guys she was bringing me to the club before she even told me. But you wouldn't have come if it weren't for the cupcakes. So I had to trick Natsuki into making them. Come on, give me more credit than that, Sayori. Pwap. The fuck happened? Kia. Out of nowhere, something smacks Sayori in the face and tumbles onto the desk. Ow. What was... a cookie. Sure enough, it's a giant cookie wrapped in plastic. Sayori glances around. Is this a miracle? It's because I paid my restitution. Retribution. Actually, that one almost worked. I was just going to give it to you. But then I heard you blab about the cupcakes. It was totally worth seeing your reaction, though. Alright, I've had enough of this fucking game. So, we're going to save. Empty slot. Perfect. And fucking quit. Oh my god, I can't fucking take it any second longer. I've been recording for 2.5 hours. Okay, guys, if you want to see more of this, let me know. I'm probably going to cut like most of it out. Let me know. It's supposed to take a dark turn at some point, so I might do one more episode, and if it doesn't take a dark turn by then, I'm just going to stop. Because I don't have a year to play this fucking game, okay? So, like I said, if you enjoyed it, let me know. Otherwise, let me know. If you can't stand watching this shit, just goddamn tell me, okay? Seriously. Fucking. Oh my god. I see why it's a psychological horror now. I'm gonna fucking kill myself. Fuck. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. Thank you so much for watching.